Everybody, welcome to my channel. If you came here from the old channel, we're just going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing, at least for now, a lot of Long Dark, and we're just going to be doing playthrough to start. We're going to do it on Interloper settings. On the other channel, I was doing a modified Interloper with the Timberwolves turned off. I think I'm just going to do a standard Interloper, leave the Timberwolves there. You will find I'm not as practiced dealing with the Timberwolves because before this last update, they only had them in a couple of regions, and I just avoided those regions because I don't like the things. Now they've scattered them through a bunch more regions, and rather than making them a guaranteed spawn, they've made them a possible spawn. We're going to use the same feats that we always use for Interloper, which is Efficient Machine, gives us 10% fewer calorie requirement, and Cold Fusion, which gives us a bonus to air temperature, a 2-degree bonus to air temperature. We'll leave Scurvy on. By the time we'll be fine for the beginning of the game. It won't even be a consideration. When we start getting a little deeper, it means we just have to do a little more fishing. Okay, and we will call it. We're getting a fresh start on our new channel with a new playthrough. Alright, a mysterious geomagnetic storm has brought your plane crashing down into the Canadian wilderness. How long can you survive? Let's find out. Extraordinary people survive under the most terrible circumstances, and they become more extraordinary because of it. Well, let's hope so. Alrighty, where are we? Is this Ash Canyon? Nope, Timberwolf Mountain. Okay, yeah, we know where we are. We are just close to the deer clearing. So for Timberwolf Mountain, pretty much anywhere we had started on Timberwolf Mountain, there is one and only one spot you want to get to, and that is, of course, the cabin on Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake, yeah, that's what it's called. So we're gonna head pretty much straight there. We are going to grab the. We're going to grab sticks and things that we can make tea out of on our way, but not much else. Maybe pick up a couple of stones just to distract wildlife. Alright. So, oh, there's some rose hips. We'll grab those. There's actually a fair amount of rose hips and reishi mushrooms in this area, which is, what time of day is it, by the way? Oh, midday. Okay.
Can't feel my feet.
It feels pretty cold, but this is probably... What? Who... Hopefully that was somebody. Hopefully I'm not walking down into that. I didn't even see a wolf down below me, but hopefully I didn't just ignore it. Oh, there is one right below me. Darn it. That's a lousy spot. This could be a lousy start. Normally, finding something that I could start a fire with would be a good thing to do here. But we're at the beginning of the game, so we have no matches. We have no torches, flares, nothing. So the best thing we can do is just keep our distance. There are a couple of things that you can do to lose a wolf. It'll follow you. Sometimes if you go over... Oh, damn it. If you go over an area where they can't path like that, yeah, there you go. That howling indicates to me that he's not following me. That's not a sound they make when they're following you. So that was a way that you managed to lose him. I probably could have just kited him around the map until I got to, like the bunnies. He would have gone after the bunnies here had I kited him over here. And that would have been another way. As soon as he attacked a bunny, he is no longer interested in me. The biggest thing I find with wolves is just don't panic. It's so easy to panic. We'll see if I can hold that theory up when we encounter some timber wolves, because again, I'm not used to dealing with them, so who knows, maybe I'll panic. But hopefully not. Alright, let's quickly see if there's anything in this cave. Yeah, it's getting cold. Is there any warmer? Is it warm enough? Sometimes at the backs of caves, they're warmer than normal outside, but not warm enough to start popping my temperature up, unfortunately. So we're taking a little condition damage. The Timberwolf Mountain's kind of a tricky first day start. Just based on one thing, which is that the indoor location, the hut that we're headed to, isn't like a true indoor location. So, in other places, if you go into a house or a hut or something like that, you're going to be, with the very few exceptions, you're going to be above zero, and so you don't need to light a fire or anything like that, and you can sleep and you will be warm and heal and not take any damage. The hut has a big hole in the roof, and so the colder it is outside, the colder the hut is. It is warmer than outside, but it is not always warmer than zero. So you can freeze to death in the hut. I wonder, yeah, I might as well collect that guy and collect that guy. So the question is always going to be looking at our clothing and looking at the temperature and trying to decide whether we should light a fire and probably we use all the firewood and have an all-night fire at the hut. That's probably the right answer. Sometimes you can try to save the firewood to use later, but there's always a fair amount of firewood in the hut. So there you go. Now, there is some wildlife coming up here that we might have to deal with. I know you can get a moose now right up here. Oh, and there it is. Okay. So, moose is... I'm just going to stay behind him for now. And then, I just don't... Okay. This game... Oh, just stop walking that way. I'm trying to sneak around you. Come on. Hey, moose. Stop it. Really? Come on. You can get pretty close to animals when you're crouched, and they don't see you, as you can see. Granted, if they walk right into you, even if you're crouched, you're kind of screwed. Okay, good. Now, unfortunately, when you're crouched, you're moving slowly, and when you're freezing and you're moving slowly, you're taking more damage. But, better than nothing. And then, usually, depending, if I was coming from the other direction, if I saw those markings there on the tree, that gives me a heads up that there's probably a moose in the area. And to be a little more careful. Okay, I think we're probably safe now. Let's take a little dash just to get out of eye shot. Okay, well that was a little bit of excitement to start, dodging a moose. Yeah, they are great to find when you've got weapons and you're ready to deal with them, but they're annoying as heck when they're not, because they will trample you and give you broken ribs, and that is not a fun affliction to have. Alright, what do we got here? We've got some of this. Some birch bark, which is another thing we can make teas out of. Teas are the stuff. That's what your teas keep you alive. They, when you make a hot tea, it is basically portable warmth. It doesn't stay warm in your inventory forever, but it does for a while, and every time you drink a tea, you're heating yourself up. Cold is, you know, wolves and bears and moose and things like that are things that can cause you damage, but cold is probably the thing that's going to kill you in this game. Cold is, I mean, the amount of damage that I've taken so far, I've taken because of cold. Now, we will hopefully sleep through the night and recover most of that. I should probably even, it's doing a little bit of dashing right now is going to mean that I'm burning through my tiredness meter a little bit more, which means that when I do fall asleep, I can sleep the full night. You only sleep until your fatigue meter is filled back up, and the longer you sleep, the more you heal. And it's not linear, it's exponential. So you gain 10 hours of sleep gives you much more health than 9 hours, which gives you much more than 8 hours. It's always that last hour of sleep that gives you the most recovery. In Interloper, 10's the max because the speed that you drain hydration, you will be hydrated. If you're fully hydrated when you go to sleep, you will be fully dehydrated after 10 hours sleep, and you'll need to take a drink. Otherwise, you'll actually be taking damage while you sleep from dehydration. Alright, I'm going to grab those cattails. Great food, and also good tinder with the cattail heads. And we're going to check that fishing hut, which sometimes has some, always seems to have something, often like a toque or something like that, and then sometimes has goodies like hammers and heavy hammers and lanterns and things like that. So, or even a book, which is useful. Let's see, that's weird. Usually there's at least one wolf wandering around on the ice there. Okay, yeah, so toque, which we're going to put on right away. Technically, we could get a memento clue. Technically, we could get frostbite any time now. We've been wandering around without a toque or gloves for a while. I think we'll probably be fine, but we're probably pushing it a little close. So let's just dash over. Quickly check. Here's another spot where sometimes you can find a hammer, but nope, no such luck. And then let's just head in before I've got frostbitten fingers. And hopefully, yeah, it's warm enough that we're healing up. Excellent. Okay, grab that, grab that. Some sardines here. Excellent, a ski jacket. Not in great condition, but whatever, it's better than what we had.
I wonder who owns this stuff.
Well, we own it now, buddy. Alright, there. Search here. Sewing kit, accelerant. And yeah, there's lots of wood. So, let's, for them, oh, and matches, of course. We don't want to miss those. I'm not going to worry about spray paint. You can take the spray paint, and if you do mapping, so there's a couple of things. You can take an old fire, take charcoal out of it, and then on your map screen, if I were to do mapping, you could map out, you know, wherever I am. I'm not even sure where it would sit on the map here, but wherever I am, it would map out an area around where I am. And then you can put spray markers down just to say, hey, like this spot is interesting and that spot is interesting. I don't really do the mapping. I just get to know the maps themselves. I'm just going to break down these things for wood right now. Oh, I didn't even notice there's a book there. I don't want to start the fire until I really have to. Oh, there's wolves now. They spawned on there since. You remember there was no wolves when we were there before. There more than one? No, maybe just the one. Or maybe he was just a little farther away and wandered over. I'm not sure. I will grab all of this wood, but I'm not going to start the fire, especially now that I'm warming up. I'm just going to leave the ambient temperature be what it is and see if there's anything useful we can do right now. So we can do a bunch of things. We can start preparing up tea ingredients. So we were picking up all those birch bark and rose hips and mushrooms. And we can't cook those into teas until we prepare them. Now, I am going to drink that soda. Recover a little bit of hydration. It's really important to get your hydration going early on to get a fire going, to get water, because yeah, you can see if I hadn't found that soda, I would be pretty close to dehydrated right away, and you don't spawn with any water, no matter what. Okay, a good pair of jeans, a good pair of long underwear, a good pair of socks, and then sort of a crappy everything else. Well, crappy jacket, crappy good hat that we found, and an okay sweater. What is our temperature? 4 degrees, not great. Okay, well, there we go. If we had a little cloth, I might try to repair some of that stuff, but we don't have any cloth, so it is what it is. And just to make sure there was nothing hiding underneath. Sometimes things hide under beds or things like that, and if you don't see them from the right angle. But no, it looks like we got everything. All right. So we were going to, let's do a little bit. We can either read some more, or we can do some more. Let's do a little reading here while we're waiting. Got this cooking book. Oh, it's getting colder. Do we make it? Okay, so yeah, there we go. It is definitely time that we should start a fire. I'm going to use the accelerant. Normally I wouldn't, or well, I don't know if I'd say normally I wouldn't, but we want to make sure that we've only got 12 matches. With 80% chance, the way the things go, like you can have a bad bad run of luck, and if that happens, then you can spend 3, 4, 5. I mean, technically, you could use all your matches and not get your fire lit. Okay, so I think. So we're going to want to do an all-night fire, which means that I'm probably going to want to collect a little more. Well, let's heat up a little bit. Let's actually start boiling some water. And then we're going to go outside and see if we can grab just a couple more sticks. Because we want to sleep for a full 10 hours if we can. And so, well, okay, so let's read for an hour here. The water will be cooked by the time we're done. There we go, our frostbite risk is done. We're going to throw some more water on there. And take a little drink here. And then we're going to look for some sticks. There's usually some sticks laying around here. There we go. Nothing crazy, but those will all add, I think they add, what, about 10 minutes to a fire? A you know, not a huge amount, but it's not inconsequential how much they add. It does add up. Nothing in that boat, hey? That's disappointing. I was hoping there might be something there. Oh, got that frostbite risk already again. I just want to grab these. Those wolves are close-ish, so I'm staying. I mean, they're right near the edge of the range where they might see me. Yeah, like they're not going to see me now if I stand up. Okay. There's usually some sticks around here. I could break down some of those larger sticks, branches I think they call them. Oh, I can usually find something there. We'll see. Here, let's see. Yeah, we have enough body temperature that if we go back over here and go to a branch, 10 minutes, I don't think we're going to lose. There we go. And that gives us, I think, 3 sticks, if I remember right. Yeah, 3 sticks. Right up top it says that. So, okay. Yeah. I know, you're fine. Okay. How are we doing there? 30 minutes. Okay, so that's cooked. Let's do one more of those, at least. And let's just do a little crafting as we warm up. Make those old man beard dressing. The old man beard dressing, I like to have at least one of those. Okay, 12 sticks, that's good. old man's beard dressing is an antiseptic wound treatment. So, if you get bit by a wolf or something like that, and it punctures the skin, you have a pretty high likelihood of getting an infection unless you treat it, and that's how you would treat it. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna sleep. And I don't know if I'm gonna get the full 10 hours here. What I want to do though is I want to wake up and still have time to use my to use the fire to just cook a cup of tea or two before you hit the road. So let's see if we can sleep for a full 10 hours. Oh, darn it, we ran out of... We let ourselves get hungry. That sucks, just because if we keep our bellies full for 72 hours straight, we get well-fed bonus, and that just gives us a little extra carrying capacity and a little extra health. Well, we got 3 hours. Okay. So that's good in terms of amount of fire time. Okay. Because we are going to want to do some little more cooking before we leave. We will hopefully want it to get just a little later. This dawn time is the coldest time. I might see if I can just quickly grab break down another one of these branches, or two, if it doesn't, yeah, like, look how quickly, 10 minutes, and it drained so much of my, warmth there.
Cold.
Crazy.
My head feels thick.
Yeah.
Looks like a new day is dawning.
A new day is dawning. That is one of the rare times when your guy actually seems optimistic and positive.
Surrounded by snow, and nothing to drink.
Okay, you get something to drink. There you go. A little bit of drink there. It's all good. What are we looking at? 2 hours, so a little more water. Let's see if let's go get that other branch and break it down. Those, by the way, are not branches, they're limbs. You need a saw or an axe to break those down, and they break down into the logs, which burn a lot longer. But on Interloper, I would rarely waste a waste condition on a tool on breaking down a log. It's too easy to just pick up sticks everywhere. So let's make that. I'm actually going to drop these teas here. Those will cook. They will warm up. Now, if I don't do that little fiddle thing that I just did, they'll actually cook and burn, which is kind of silly, but it is what it is. Somehow, just fiddling with them like that solves that problem. Okay, let's do a Reishi mushroom. Are you getting a little hungry, little peckish? Alright. So, there's a reason why I'm eating the cattails and not other things. Right now, we're pretty tight on how much water we have. So, this here will dehydrate me a little bit. This here, sardines that are under 50% have actually a decent chance of giving you food poisoning. And then this guy, while I could use it, because I don't have a can opener, I'm not gonna get it. I have to smash it open, and you lose some of the calories. Usually, 20% of the calories, that sort of thing. So we are not going to waste stuff like that when we have these cattails that we can eat. And hopefully we will find a can opener, and we will have more water in time enough where, the rest of it, and we'll find more food. What time of day is it? It's starting to get into proper morning. Oh, a little more water. Yeah, okay. One more of those, and then let's start pulling torches. Okay. Okay. Oh, we would have a couple more. Grab that, pick that up, and then let's just fill up on torches. Alright, pick these up. Drink that tea. And that will give us a warming up benefit that'll just take the edge off of the cold. Now it is three arrows down. It's pretty cold, but we don't have that far to go, so it's not a panic. We might take a little condition damage at this temperature, but you see we healed up a fair amount of it the last sleep. As long as we're gaining more overall than we're losing, then you can feel pretty good. I might, yeah, you know what, I think I'm going to run over here rather than taking the completely direct line. I think what we're going to do is quickly gather some of the cattails here. Hopefully that will far enough away. Let's throw down that torch. Grab another one. And just load up on cattails. They are an excellent source of food, especially early in the game where you're not going to find you're not going to have a lot of meat. And where found food is touch and go. Like you might do very well with finding beef jerkies and granola bars and things like that, but you can't guarantee that's what you're going to do. All right. So I think I'm going to drink another one of those tea right away. You can see my temperature bar has gone down quite a bit. Let's just grab the rest of these, and then I'm going to take another tea, and that'll jump my temperature bar up. That'll warm me up a good amount. Maybe not. It feels like about a third of the way. So let's just have a look here. Let's take that birch bark. So the birch bark also gives us a very mild healing. Oh, not a third. That was an exaggeration, but it does give us a little bump up in warmth. And it restarts the clock on that warming up process. All right, keep that torch chain going. And then, yeah, we do not have far to go. We are just going to head right off of this map and over to Pleasant Valley, which is just over this way. Past those, the landing gear over here. And then on the other side, at the Pleasant Valley, there's a nice indoor location where we'll be able to warm up and, who knows, maybe find some goodies. We'll be able to find something for sure. I don't know what it'll be, but something. And there's also a little cave system close by that hopefully sometimes has some good stuff. Sometimes has a lantern, sometimes has a bedroll, always has some coal, and usually you can get at least a cup of coffee and maybe a couple of pieces of food in it. So we shall see. We shall see what we can get. Sometimes you got to dodge a wolf to get there. But usually not that difficult to deal with. All right. Early in the game, it's always I always feel like I want to balance how much I sprint, which burns through calories quicker and burns through fatigue quicker, but it also gets you where you're going, which is usually an indoor warm spot quicker, right? So definitely, as I say, lack of warmth is usually the thing that's going to cause you the most damage. So it's always a judgment call. If you're doing it right, you're gonna I'm gonna arrive at the place that I want with just a sliver of warmth, and then I know I didn't waste my sprinting to get there.
Need to find some place to escape this cold.
Oh, you'll get there. You'll escape the cold, Mark Meer. Mark Meer, of course, the voice actor, famously known for the Mass Effect series, Commander Shepard. I like him as a voice actor. I also like making fun of him as the voice of the main character in this game. What is it? Will. Will is the name of the main character, I think. Or at least is in story mode. In survival mode, I guess the main character is whatever you want him to be. Or her to be. Because you can also play with the female voice, which, interestingly, is the female Commander Shepard as well. I forget her name now. She's an excellent voice actor as well. Jennifer... drawing a blank. Jennifer Hale. I think that's what it is. Let's grab this wood. Oops, don't put up that. There we go. Oh, and look at that sliver of health theory. Or sliver of heat's theory. Sounds like I was about right. Now, we will quickly pop in here. Yeah, look at that. I did time that. I did do that right. We're going to have a quick little peek around here. See what we can find in the bunker. Locked. At least a piece of cloth that I can break down there. I'm not going to do it right now because that'll just waste torch life. Oh, and there's our mittens. So, grab the book and let's toss that torch down. Start the new one. Do the last little search here. What I don't want to forget now is put the mittens on. Now, I got a mittens and I got a toque, so I can no longer get frostbite. Frostbite is just one of those weird things that it's super easy. All you need is a toque and mittens, or some kind of head covering and some kind of hand covering, and you can't get frostbite. Easy as that. So easy to handle. But if you get it, it sucks. It takes, I'm going to approximate about 15% off your max health permanently. That's it. So if you got both your ears and your fingers frostbit, that's 30% of your health that you never can recover. Alright, so excellent.
Never felt so cold in my life.
Yeah, you did. You felt this cold just the other day. So we're going to light this fire here. We're going to do a little bit more water and a couple more teas.
Come on. It worked.
Throw some more. Is that going to be warm enough here? Three, two, one. Okay, so we're slowly warming up now. Good. Took a second for the fire to warm up. Okay, so let's do more of that. Yeah, we don't have that much to do while we're waiting for this to boil. But let's do what we can. It's midday, so there's still a fair amount of the day left. What I want to do is I don't actually need to accomplish that much here. We need to get some more water made. Yeah, and there we took that birch bark, and that did pop up. I think our health was down about here. I just did add a little bit to our health over that period of time. So we are going to cook some more reishi tea. We're going to drop these other teas. Dropping teas heats them up. Also keeps it's practice for our cooking skill. And getting that cooking skill going soon is really useful. How are we doing for just water? Okay. And how long has that got? An hour 22. Let's throw another one of those on there. Let's do another thing of water. Drop that. So, I mean, when we drink these teas, they do hydrate us too. Normally, I like to have about 2 liters of water on me. When you're just cooking 500, half a liter at a time in these cans, that becomes a little annoying to get to, but you know, you do what you do. You eat that. Take a little drink of water. Alright. Anything else we can do while we're waiting? Okay. I think we just wait. Okay. So let's pick that up. Let's grab all of these. I'm not even going to drink them because we're not going very far. Oh, you know what? I don't need... Okay, let's do 1 more liter of water, which is 40 minutes, and then we'll take the rest in torches. Pick up, and then we got 5 torches out of that. Each time you take a torch, it takes 10 minutes off the life of the fire. Maybe 6 if I add another stick to it. Alright, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so now we're nice and warm. We're heading over here. We are gonna, there's a little cave system right next to, there's a picnic area over here, and right next to it is a little cave system. The picnic area, we're gonna find some sticks and some more reishi mushrooms. And you know what? Probably we could kill a couple of rabbits. There's a bunch of rabbits wandering around. There is sometimes, just on the other side here, a wolf. No, looks like we're wolf free for now, which is nice. Yeah, I'm thinking because it's still time in the day, I think it might be worth it to grab those rabbits. So the trade-off is dealing with killing and harvesting rabbits, especially if you don't have tools. They can they can take a fair amount of time to deal with, but there are a couple of advantages to dealing with them. So the first one is eventually you're going to want to get yourself some rabbit skin mitts and a rabbit skin hat, and that just starts getting a couple of pieces curing. And also, we're not horrible condition, we're not horrible setup for food, but it's not awesome either. Now, and of course, rabbit meat is meat we can cook up. So let's just... Oh, didn't I grab stones? I'm gonna have to grab some stones here. I almost always grab stones right away, and I guess I just forgot to do that. So I'm gonna need a couple of stones to take care of these rabbits.
I would drink almost anything about now.
Yeah, we'll get you some to drink. There you go, buddy. Okay, so let's just quickly... Oh, no, he saw me. They're gonna run away, so let's just get a little closer. And then try again. Let's just drop that. Really? Oh, it's the dropping. I normally don't do this when I'm carrying a torch. So I guess the dropping of the torch scares them. So let's just leave that on the ground for now. And snap the little bunny's neck. Now, can I just quickly get this other one? Oh, except for we're going to miss it. I don't like wandering around with the smell bar, but I don't think we're that close to any wolves right now, so I'm taking a little bit more of a risk than I normally would. Ah, jeez. Okay. Let's line him up properly. If he's going directly towards you. What? These are really awful throws. Why is my guy such a lousy throw? You know what? That actually seems like they've changed something about the mechanic. And I'm hoping that this, oops. I'm hoping I don't actually run out of torch doing this. Alright. Let's just grab that torch. Actually, let's just start a new one up. Oh, I missed it. Darn it. Okay. So I wasted a match. I'm going to have to now use another match as I go through this cave system. So, not perfect. Whatever. It's not going to be very unlikely to be a fatal mistake, but just not a great one. So let's just clear this area of everything that we need. We're going to, let's grab one more stone again. Head in here. And okay, it is getting later in the day, but that's okay. Let's drop those. Let's light this torch. And then when we come back, we will start a fire here. And break down those rabbit carcasses. And cook them up and do all of that stuff. Now we're going to find some coal, which is our best source for fire fuel. Excellent. Is that a 12 or a 24? 12. Okay. So that's still good though. A couple more cedar firewood. Some more coal. So starting fires is not going to be or having fires burning for a while is not going to be a big concern. Normally I don't like to spend a lot of time traveling at night, but the short little jaunt that we have to do to go back to that bunker isn't a big concern. So let's start a little fire here. Let's just do, let's do one cedar. It's probably more than I need to do, a longer fire than I need to do, but again, we're not hard up for firewood right now. So we will do that. And the reason we're starting this fire is we're going to go through there, and that's going to make us really cold because we're going to get wet. We're going to take off all of our pieces of clothing, so that they don't get wet, because when clothing gets wet, it loses its effectiveness, and it takes a while to dry off. If it gets wet and cold, it'll even get icy. So here we go. Yeah, very cold, very freezing. There's our cup of coffee. Some disinfectant, a marine flare, which we can use to either scare off wolves or as a big giant match. And there we're warm again. Okay, put our clothes back on. I don't know how you put your socks on after you put your shoes on, but whatever. Okay, so there, let's just grab the torches we can from there. There you go. Take a torch there, and then we'll head back. On our way back, I don't think we're going to find much except for some sticks and some coal usually. In here, a couple of pieces of coal, yeah. Excellent. We did not find anything super good in here. We didn't find any of the bedroll or anything like that, or even a lantern, which would have been nice. But nonetheless, we did find a few things, and we found a lot of coal and wood. And so we're going to start a fire right by the exit here, where those rabbits are.
I would do anything for a drink right now.
And we are going to, so we'll start a fire right there. And then we're going to hand harvest those rabbits. Just tear them apart with our bare hands.
Turned out pretty well.
Alright, whoops. Extinguish that. Have a little drink. Maybe eat a couple of these cattails just to make sure. Okay, so harvest. Start with the meat so that we can get that onto the fire right away. Start cooking.
I could eat a horse.
Okay, that's 25 minutes, so next piece of meat is going to take about that long to harvest. Oh, it looks like that fire's running out. Yeah, jeez. Have to pay more attention. That would have been bad. Eat that. Throw this one on. That's going to go for 30 minutes. Which means we can do either one of these.
Never been so hungry in my life.
Okay. Now, I think the only real question will be, we're just going to drop these to start them curing now. Might as well do a thing of water while I'm waiting. Takes about 40 minutes to do water, and it takes about 40 minutes to harvest each bit. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing water, and I'm going to throw some more firewood on there to keep the fire going. Now the only question I'm sort of asking myself, there's a slightly riskier and a slightly safer choice here, and that's whether I take these pelts and guts over the short little distance to the bunker. And I think the answer is yes. I'm gonna have a torch, so even if I do attract some some wolves, which, you know, sometimes there are wolves in this little area. We should be able to deal with them if we've got a torch. Doesn't sound like there's much wind. If it turns out that we go out there and it's super windy, then I might change my mind and go back and drop those in the cave and just let them cure in the cave. It's just the cave is a little bit more out of the way, so these are going to have to cure for a number of days, and I'm not planning on immediately coming back. There's just, you know, too many other places I want to be in you know, sticking around means I'm not finding new sources of calories or new other stuff. You really, in the early game, you really want to just get moving a lot. You want to be moving around a lot, exploring a lot, looting stuff a lot, or you'll run out of food. As you go a little bit further, you can as you get a little deeper in the game, you can absolutely you can sort of settle down a little bit and pick a home base and not move around as much. Just go out and hunt and fish and that sort of thing. I still feel like eventually you still want to do some more exploration. You are going to run out of some stuff. So, anywho, let's head back here.
Something's making me feel tired.
Yeah, being awake is making you feel tired. Okay, let's just quickly, whoops, do a little more eating here, just so that I don't run out of calories before I get settled into what I'm doing. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to get torch because we're going to break it down. So what I want to do is I want to break down that cloth, and then I want to sleep. And I don't really care if my torch runs out, except for our, oh, there you go, look. So this means that it's actually an aurora because the lights are on.
I could eat anything right now.
What that means is if I wanted to stay up and do stuff, I should. I'm going to drop these here where they're visible, because that's the other issue, is sometimes you forget that you've put stuff in a certain place. So let's just get some food into us. I'm almost tempted. What's my health like? You know what? I think I'm going to eat those. If I get food poisoning, which I didn't. Okay, there you go. I wouldn't heal as I slept, but I would still have a 10 hours of sleep, and I would just have to take a medicine for food poisoning and then just sleep 10 hours, and it would solve the problem. So doing that right, if you're gonna eat sketchy food, do it when you don't need a ton of healing. Do it when you have some reishi tea or some antibiotics, and do it right before you go to sleep. Okay, so let's just sleep, fill up my hydration, and then let's just sleep tonight. And we will call that our first episode. Guys, thanks. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again. And as always, stay frosty, survivors.